Alright, let's do some of these. So first thing I want to remember, I'm going to write this over here, is that for a 45, 90, the hypotenuse equals the leg times the square root of 2. Also for a 30, 60, 90, the hypotenuse equals leg 1 times 2, and leg 2 equals leg 1 times the square root of 3. Leg 1's always the shortest leg. So those are my formulas I want to remember. So looking at number 1, this is a 45, 45, 90. The legs are both the same, so here B is the same as this leg, so that's 2 radical 2. And then A, which is the hypotenuse, if I look at this formula, the hypotenuse equals the leg times the square root of 2. I just write that out. So the leg is 2 square root of 2 times the square root of 2. And that equals, if I put these two together, that's just 2. So A equals 2 times 2, so that's 4. So there's my 2 answers. Let's do another one. Let's do 3. So Y, this one's pretty simple. Y equals 3 square root of 2 over 2, because these are the same. And again, 45, 45, 90. And then X equals, and that's the hypotenuse. Looking at the formula, hypotenuse equals the leg times the square root of 2. So the leg is 3 square root of 2 over 2 times the square root of 2. So I combine those two, and that gives me 3 times 2 over 2. So this turns into a 2. Those cancel. So X is just 3. Alright, let's do another one, number 5. One more time, 45, 45, 90. And I know that those two are congruent, so if I find X, then I've also found Y. So X equals Y. Got to keep that in mind. So the hypotenuse equals the leg times the square root of 2. The hypotenuse here is 6. So 6 equals X times the square root of 2. The leg, that's the leg, times the square root of 2. So now divide both sides by the square root of 2. So X equals 6 over the square root of 2. Here I'm breaking a rule because I don't want this radical in the denominator. So I multiply top and bottom by the square root of 2. So X equals 6 square root of 2 over 2. If I combine those two, it just gives me 2. And then I simplify this fraction. So 6 divided by 2, that's 3 square root of 2. So that's what X is. And then they're both, X equals Y, they're both the same thing. So they're both square root of 2. Alright, let's do a 30, 60, 90. Let's do number 8. So now we need to remember these two formulas. The hypotenuse equals the shorter leg times 2, and the longer leg equals the shorter leg times the square root of 3. So the hypotenuse is here, that's L1, that's L2, L1, L2. So U, which is the hypotenuse, equals 2, that's the shorter leg, times 2, so 4. And V equals the shorter leg times the square root of 3. Done with that one. Let's go over here and do 7 now. I know we're going backwards, but that's okay. So the hypotenuse, that's 16, equals the shorter leg times 2, so Y times 2. If I divide both sides by 2, Y equals 8. Now the longer leg equals the shorter leg times the square root of 3. So X equals 8 square root of 3. Done with that one. Alright, let's move on to the back. We're going to keep our formulas in mind here though. So let's do number 11. This is probably one of the harder ones. I have to keep in mind that's the hypotenuse, leg 1, leg 2. So leg 2, 5 radical 3, equals leg 1, which is y, times the square root of 3. I'm using this formula right here. Now I divide both sides by the square root of 3. Those cancel out, so y equals 5. So this right here is 5. And then the hypotenuse, which is x, equals the shorter leg times 2. So x equals 10, y equals 5. Let's do another one. Let's do 12. Hypotenuse is 10, shorter leg is y, longer leg is x. So to find the shorter leg, hypotenuse 10 equals the shorter leg times 2, so y equals 5. And then the longer leg equals the shorter leg times the square root of 3. Let's do another one. Let's do number 9. The hypotenuse, which is u, equals the shorter leg times 2, so that's 16. And the longer leg equals the shorter leg times the square root of 3. These go pretty quick. Let's do one more. Let's do number 18. We're looking at a 45, 45, 90, so those are congruent. N equals M equals, I'm going to put my final answer right there, just to say that these are both equal to whatever I get for my final answer. So remember, the hypotenuse equals the leg times the square root of 2. So 7 equals n square root of 2. How do I get this? Because I multiply top and bottom by the square root of 2. This turns into a 2. And I just combine these two to get 7 square root of 2.